Welcome to Astro Venture, the DSLR astrophotography channel. Hey there, Astro Ventures. Welcome back. If you're new to this astrophotography channel, my name is George, and this is the astrophotography channel for DSLR and mirrorless camera bodies, combined with the lenses we already own and a simple star tracker like the Skyguider Pro or the Star Adventurer. In today's video, I want to talk about a website that I came upon for trying to find out the weather conditions. Now, first off, I want to say that there are some amazing resources out there, but some of them are kind of complicated to use. This is one that's posted by an extremely knowledgeable man in my home state of Utah who shares this information. And honestly, I look at all of this and I tend to get a bit lost in it, and I wish I knew more. And in lieu of understanding all of this, and I'm sure this is, much more detailed, but it's a little tough for me. So this other website that I have found, it's called clearoutside.com, and I absolutely love this website. So here it is, and I'm going to walk you through some of the reasons that I really like this website. And there's a lot of great stuff in here, but I'm just going to go over a few of the things that I like. Now, first off, bringing it up, it defaults to, let's see here, forecast for Alphington, Devon, United Kingdom. However, you can set your own default location, which I have not because I've wanted to share this with all of you. So let's take a quick look, and we're going to jump over to my side of the pond here. And I'm going to initially put down Salt Lake City, Utah. And this would be our big city here in the state of Utah out west. And going to Salt Lake City, taking a look over here, up in this top line, okay, it's got a lot of, again, information that's over my head, but what I'm looking for is, here it tells me the Bortle number, so it's a class 8, and then it also has on here this brightness. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I understand all of this, but I do understand bigger numbers are bad, smaller numbers are better. So let me show you where I'm going with this. So I can punch in and look for better areas. So right off the bat, Salt Lake City, it's not that they're telling me anything new, but I'm well aware that, it's class 8, possibly 9. I'm guessing it kind of averages it between the outer edges to the inner, and that's how they come up with the class 8. But you see this number of 4.83. And so basically, this tells me this is pretty atrocious. This is bad. So let's take a look and jump over to my home city, Roy, Utah. Give that just a moment. Here we go. Now, as this information comes up, I don't know Terry Estates what that means, but this is, Weber County, where I'm at. And looking at this, here in this first line, so we jump to drop down to a Bortle 5 sky, and you can see we went from a 8, down to a 1.46 in brightness. So right off the bat, you can tell that this has gotten a whole lot better. And then I use this to kind of shop around and see. So let's see here. We're going to try this one, Antelope Island, Utah. And yep, there it is. Antelope Island. This is a place until, recently we're kind of kicked out of. And I decided to check that one out. Now, that is a class 4. And you can see here the overall brightness, artificial brightness. I'm guessing this might be, I'm not exactly sure. But looking at these brightness numbers, obviously it's gotten much better. This has changed to a green, and I'm in a class 4. So it's gotten better, and yeah, I would agree, it's about a class 4. Now, not too far from me, going in a different direction, I have Huntsville, Utah. And in Huntsville, let's take a look as this updates. Okay, we're in a class 4 and we're down at a 0.31, and so we've improved a little bit. And then depending on the direction that you direct your camera, it gets a bit darker than that. From this location, if you're photographing to the north and to the east, a bit to the southeast, it gets even darker. To the southwest, it's not so good. But again, being able to hop around, it gives me, this scoring. And then let's see here. Let's jump to, where do I want to jump to? Let's try, let's try Dead Horse Point. Let's see here, Dead Horse Point, Utah. And this is another place that I like to go to. Okay, so it's not liking that. Let's try that Dead Horse. Let's try separating it. Here we go. Okay, Dead Horse Point State Park. Okay, yep, this is the one. And let's take a look here. There we go. Now we're in a Bortle 2. And you can see the brightness has really dropped down. So I really like this tool because I can sit there and jump around, and it's going to give me, the Bortle for where I'm looking at, and I can see. And again, I don't understand this calculation here, exactly what this is doing for me. And if you do know, please feel free to explain it below in the comments. But like I said earlier, bigger number bad, smaller number better. And so right off the bat, I can tell this is a really good location. Now, let's slide down here, part of what I really like. Across the top here, this is your 24-hour clock, and then midnight being at 00. Part of what I like, and jumping back to this takes a bit more understanding. This is kind of like looking at the weather for dummies, and I would put myself in that category. So over here, total cloud percentage. And then it separates it down into low clouds, medium clouds, and high clouds. So I really like that because it takes that information that was on the previous page, this one, dummies it down to make it a whole lot simpler as to what's going on. And I do like the fact that it has these different layers that I can kind of see what's going on. Yeah, the upper layers, the low clouds good, medium clouds good, high clouds, this is where I'm going to end up seeing that haze. So that's really useful there. And then depending on the time of the day, if you're trying to scout ahead, they also have these buttons up here that you can do start at the current hour, and you can also center on midday. And when midnight is not showing, this one actually toggles over to being able to center onto midnight. Sliding down a little bit, for those of you that are interested in the International Space Station passing over, there it is. Down here on the visibility, the highest I've ever seen them go to, so I'm guessing it's the limit of their scale, is to a 9. And then percentage, for fog. Fog's really not a factor that we have here in Utah. Precipitation, probability. Skipping down here to the wind direction. This is really useful because particularly when I would previously head out to Antelope Island, you could have the best of sky conditions going on, but oftentimes when you got out there, the wind was absolutely kicking due to temperature differences between the water and the air and the cooling of the night and everything. And so, you'd get out there and have great conditions up here, but the wind was just atrocious and really didn't work. I also like the idea that down here they will put in a percentage chance of frost. Granted, it's not showing here. I'm not exactly sure what the snowflakes are doing. Okay, chance of frost. I've seen it show percentage before. I hadn't seen this little symbol, but it's got that there. And then temperature, dew point. This is useful to know what the forecasted low is for the night, and where the dew point is as to whether or not you're going to see that dew. So if they're only forecasting you getting down to, say, and this is working in Celsius, I know that's going to be tough for all of us Americans. We're going to have to do conversions on our cell phones. But but if it's only getting down to, say, 1 degree Celsius, so it's just above freezing, freezing being 0 for all you Americans out there that aren't so familiar. But it shows that the dew point is down here at -5. You know that you're pretty safe and you're not so likely to have the frost. And then over here, jumping to the side, you've got the moon phase up here, what the percentage is, and then in using a 24-hour clock, you also have that rise and set of the moon at a glance. So it's available there. And if you're ever curious how far the moon is from the Earth, you have it there at the distance. Okay, and then you can also look ahead, and on this one, so there it is. There's the 16th. Additionally, up here, annual darkness, if you're curious, and this is useful for scouting. Okay, and so on this here, it shows your dark through the course of the year, the red line being where you're at. So you can see right here, I'm in that primary time, and it looks like, we're just about to start creeping back towards, leaning back towards the sun. And so there you have it, as well as down here on the bottom, you've got your civil darkness, nautical darkness, and astronomical darkness. So there you go. You have that information as well. I absolutely love that. Now let me jump back. Okay. And so overall, this is a really great website. It's got great information at a, kind of like the, HTML for Dummies books of years ago, to where they really simplify and dummy things down. But for those of us that really haven't invested the time to learn some of the detailed stuff for weather, such as this here, this website is really easy, clear. It's great. I love it. So anyway, that is clearoutside.com. Please check that out, and then feel free to get in here and use a bunch of the other stuff that's in here. They've even got this how to use information. I mean, there's just great stuff in this, and it's definitely a website that I have decided to bookmark for myself. So there you have it. I hope that helps. And again, feel free to share below in the comments, any websites that you use for trying to figure out, the weather and your shooting conditions for where you're going to be. And if you like the content here at Astro Venture, like, subscribe, share the videos, and give us that thumbs up. And we would love to see you over at our Facebook group, Astro Venture DSLR. So until next time, I wish you clear skies, uneventful nights, and I hope you're out there shooting. Unfortunately, I'm not doing that tonight. I've got haze going on. Okay, have a good one. Until next time.